Nigeria versus Democratic Republic of Congo. Oh boy, Afrobeat versus Makosa. See, it's going to be an interesting game, but how confident are you? Are you very confident that the Super Eagles of Nigeria will fly so high above the Congolese? Andy.
Personally, I am 100% confident that we're getting the ticket to the World Cup. We're winning this match and we're going to the final playoffs to seal the deal. When it comes to big footballing nations, everyone knows that Nigeria is that kind of country. Nigeria is a footballing country, and with the recent challenges that Nigeria has had in recent times with the NFF, with all this, being there in the face of the media, I think this is the right time for the Nigerian Super Eagles to show what they're made of, to show the world that we're not just going to be a number, an extra number at the World Cup, but we're ready to earn our spot. And, we have to do that first against DR Congo. When you look at DR Congo and realize that they haven't been to the World Cup since 1974, I think
Yeah.
we need to understand that it's not going to be a walkover for Nigeria.
So for the head-to-head, Congo, they have beaten Nigeria 3 times. Nigeria have won twice and one draw. So we don't really have the best statistics when it comes to head-to-head against DR Congo. Even though most of those games were friendlies, it's still a big game. And Handy, like you rightly said, Congo is not a side for us to underestimate. Those guys, first of all, man, genetically, I think they are one of the best. They are like Cameroonians in Africa. Those
Yes,
guys are
strong.
physically strong, very athletic. They can do anything, and they've got a group of players who are very hungry. They haven't played in the World Cup since the first time they appeared in the World Cup. So this means a lot to them.
Is the determination to do something for their country. Because, like you said, they've gone through a lot as well. And in one of their recent World Cup qualifying games at home against Senegal, where they were leading 2-0, Senegal came from behind to win the game 3-2. That caused a lot of problems in Congo because a lot of the equipment in the stadium were damaged and a lot of fans were really agitated and all that. So I think it pushed them a little bit, to do better in their next couple of games, which is what has kept them to this point. But in terms of the game in itself, they have a goal scorer. They have Bakambu who can score goals. So it's a
Cedric
good thing to have
Bakambu.
a player that can score goals, Shirley Bakambu. And then they also have a very mean defense that don't concede. They don't concede too many goals, right? And these guys are made up of strong, very physical players. You have Masuaku who plays for Sunderland. You have
Bemba.
Twanzebe, the former Man United defender, who now plays for Burnley. And then there is their captain, their leader, Chance Mbemba. And then there is Wan-Bissaka also. So they are very solid at the back and very physical as well, which is going to be a huge task, defensively are solid, which is one of their strengths, and also at scorer. So those two the key areas.
Okay.
Their games for us as Nigerians to take notes.
How do we approach this game, Handy? We saw how we approached the game against Gabon. We tried to use our wingers, and when they were not being effective, the coach had to make a double change before the hour mark. Now, looking at this game, a solid defensive side like Congo, how are you going to change your starting lineup, or do you go with the same starting lineup you used against Gabon? And how do you approach it?
Well, personally, I think it all boils down to how the players recover. The players that started the game against Gabon, how they recover. I would think Nigeria would need to go with full pace because yes, they have strong defenders, right? But I think we have the players that can actually beat them when it comes to pace. Apart from Wan-Bissaka that I know is really fast too and strong. When you look at Mbemba, I don't think when it comes to giving Osimhen true balls, he'll be able to match Osimhen for Osimhen's space. So I think we need to take advantage of that. And one other point is they are very strong when it comes to set pieces. But we also know too that that's also Nigeria's strength. We have players that really can do well when it comes to set pieces in the likes of Ndidi, Mbasi, and most importantly, Osimhen. So if we can take advantage of the set pieces, because that is their strength, but if we can take advantage of that to and make sure all our set pieces count and really use the pace of our players, I think we have a really very good chance at beating Congo.
I disagree with you on that note when it comes to set pieces. I think Nigeria, we are good offensively with set pieces, but defensively, we are always shaky.
No, but that's what I meant actually. Like
Yeah.
when I said we can
Okay,
beat
you
them
meant that
the,
on your offensive
on the
note.
offensive side, yes, not the defensive side.
Defensively,
Because
I always
I'm always scared. It's
yes, I'm always
porous.
worried whenever
Yeah.
when there's something with I don't know if it comes from the goalkeeper, because sometimes the goalkeeper actually arranges or sets up his defenders for some set piece in some set piece situations, but I don't think we are the best when it comes to especially
Defensive
corners.
setting.
Corners,
Yes.
we are not really the best. And during the qualifiers, we considered some goals from set pieces.
Mind you, they just knocked out Cameroon with a set piece in the 94th minute. So we have to be really careful when it comes to those corner kicks.
So it's crazy. Mr. Fairplay, how do you combat these
Yeah.
guys? How do you stop them? How do you stop Congo?
Just do what we've been doing. I think they're not going to set up their team to attack us in numbers. Just the same approach they had against Cameroon. They will want to be very tight at the back and then see if they can nick in one or two, and it's not the kind of team you are allowed to score. Apart from Senegal, that came from behind. They are a team that when they score, you struggle. You find it very, very difficult to score. So what I think we should do is to be really patient as well. And if the goal doesn't come, doesn't mean we should throw in players in numbers unnecessarily, because if we get exposed at the back and we concede the goal, it's going to be very difficult to come back. So if the goal doesn't come on time, just be patient. Just be patient. Continue to play. Be positive, and then I think that goal will come. Then one very key thing that we need to do is second balls, because there is no doubt that they are going to focus so much on Osimhen, and they have the physicality actually to match an Osimhen. So whoever plays close to Osimhen, whoever plays around Osimhen, be it Ako Adams or Demola Lookman, I don't know, should always take advantage of the second ball, because if you play a long ball and then he knocks it down, there have to be somebody within and around to take advantage of it, because it's going to be a serious battle between Osimhen and Transabe. So let's just have someone within and around that can take advantage of. But there was so much on it. Osimhen can attract 2 to 3 players around him and leave a space for someone else to take over. So who will take over that space and make it count? It's going to be very, very important to us. And let me just add that, you talked about, briefly, like you talked about the head-to-head, even if some of the games were not official games. The 3 games that they've won against Nigeria, they've won with clean sheets. 1-0, 1-0, and a 2-0. And the ones Nigeria won, we won 3-2 and then 5-2. So it means whenever we score, we win. So all we need to do, and we've been scoring in our last few games, so all we need to do is to find a way to score and unsettle them.
Okay, I hope that jinx is not broken. Quick update. This came up a few hours ago. There was this confusion as to if Wilfred Ndidi was suspended ahead of the game because of the yellow card which he had accumulated during the qualifiers. But it's been confirmed that he's eligible to play in that game, because the playoff doesn't count. Whatever yellow card you've accumulated during the qualifiers, when you're in the playoff, it doesn't count, except it was a suspension, like in the case of Semi Ajayi.
Yeah.
You understand? But for this one, we're going to have Ndidi back, which is good, because we know how instrumental he was in the last game. So it's a big one for Ndidi and big one for Nigeria. I think that's actually calmed a lot of nerves.
Yeah, and just to add to that, it's I know one of the game plans that DR Congo will be coming is to use the counter attacks, because obviously they know Nigeria might have more of the possess the ball more.
Yeah.
So they'll be ready to break on the counter attack. So it'll be very important that this role will be more crucial even in this match compared to the first game, because breaking those lines of counter attacks will be very important, to help our own transitioning back to,
now, speaking of it, there's something we saw in the last game against Gabon, right? Iwobi was himself, very good player, covering every ground, trying to play, make and defend as well. But we saw when Frank Onyeka came in, like I said, he unlocked Ndidi. He made it easier because he was pressing. He was like proper box to box midfielder. This game now, do you play two defensive midfielder alongside Iwobi, or do you go with the same setup of Ndidi and Iwobi? Because I don't know.
Personally, I think we need to start Frank Onyeka and Ndidi and have it will be free up some space. And to me, my own personal opinion, I think Lookman should be on the bench because he wasn't really exceptional in that game. You know, if you have two defensive midfielders, that means we can definitely break their line of counter attack or whatever threats that they'll pose. You know, and I mean, it will be to explore that free space, you know, very close to the box, you know, and be able to create those passes because we know this guy has the ability to give those incisive passes. It's just that when he plays too deep for Nigeria, it's really difficult for him to pull the strings, you know, from that deeper role. But if you have Frank Onyeka in the team, he knows that he has the cover of Frank Onyeka and Ndidi. I think we might get the best out of Iwobi. You know, and with Lookman not really being in form with all the, you know, the personal challenges he's been facing with his club too, you know, I think that has also been affecting him on the pitch. You know, so I think it is best that we go with a very solid midfield team. And also having Lookman on the bench is going to be really important that he could be a huge threat, you know, coming off the bench. So that is something that we don't have to just look at because personally, I'm going to bring the Arsenal coach here. I think I heard something about Arteta saying it is not about starters and subs. It is more like starters and finishers. That makes so much sense because when you have players that could change the game or impact the game from the bench, you know, they'll be good finishers, you know, and Lookman could be that threat that we could save or for that final quarter of the game.
You know, my thing with Iwobi is this. You watch him again, when he plays in Fulham, he kind of like changes positions. At some point, he's at the left, at some point at the right, at some point in the center, sometimes as a 10, sometimes as an 8, because he's that good. But he hardly plays as a full-time winger. And Eric Schell isn't really a fan of Iwobi being a full-time winger. I think he needs his attributes more in the center. So if we're going to deploy him in the center, of course, you want Frank Onyeka to be as a pair with Ndidi. That means Iwobi will be behind Osimhen. Where does that leave Ako? Because Ako he can't play from the wing. So how do you do it? Except you want Iwobi to play from the left. And if he's playing from the left, I can bet my money this coach is not going to start him on the left.
I think I agree with everything Andy said. If you ask me, what he just said is exactly what I would have done. But I don't think Eric Chell would do it because these questions you just asked are exactly the reason he won't want to do it. Because when you push Iwobi high up, it means one of either Akko or Simon or Lukman will have to drop. And then when you are playing against a Wan-Bissaka, you will probably need a really strong one-on-one.
Simon should be the best winger,
which is what Moses Simon is very good at. I don't think Ruby will be that good when it comes to having to go on the battle with Wan-Bissaka. Lookman, on the other hand, can, but like Andy said, he's not really in form, and it would be crazy, wonderful to have a player like Lookman who will be fired up coming from the bench. So it will be difficult for Eric Chell to change the structure. So I still think he will most likely start a pivot of Iwobi and
Ndidi.
What's it called? Ndidi. And then maybe Onyeka can come from the bench, unfortunately. So that's what I think will happen. But at the end of the day, the motivation amongst them is the most important thing. Whoever starts should just go give us the best, and the finishers too should come from the bench and do the needful for us. We just want to get this victory by all means.
Predictions for the game: Nigeria versus Congo, DR Congo. Andy, let's start with you.
This time I'll go to simple 2-1 win. Like Igbe said, you know, whenever Nigeria scores against them, we win. So I would assume that they might even score first, but we'll get the win. Nigeria is still in this 2-1.
I hope they don't score first, man. I don't like that kind of prayer or prediction. I don't like that. Mr. Fairplay, tell me,
Yeah, I was going to say 2-1, but I don't like agreeing with Andy, so I would try and just 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 top it up and go for a 2-0 victory for Nigeria. They are a very good side though. They are a very good side. They finished in their group with 20 points, just two behind
Senegal.
Senegal, and they would have qualified ahead of Senegal if not for that
They've
game
been
that they
there, yeah,
lost.
had they been there one
In a
game.
group that had South Sudan, Togo, Sudan, Mauritania. So they are a good side. It's going to be a difficult game for us, but I just feel like they rely so much on their defense, and so if we can get our first goal, they'll come out, and then we get the second goal. Everybody goes.
But
Easy.
Mwabali can easily give them one goal. Or
Hey, respect Wambali. Respect Wambali. It's
I
gonna keep a clean
do,
sheet.
I do. But
Um, I'm gonna go,
you cannot tell me that Mwabali does not make your heart skip.
bro. I've experienced that in real life.
Okay, I know.
I've watched the game. I was behind his goal, so
Against Jamaica,
I'm done
exactly.
with that already.
Mm.
Right now, it's positivity. I'm gonna go for a 1-0 win. Nigeria beats DR Congo 1-0.
You've
At
come
least
again with
let's
your same scoreline against
yes.
Gabon. You
Against Gabon, we nearly got that 1-0 win, if not for that
nearly
deflection.
cannot kill a
Like you
bird.
said, Lamina, where God go slap on for head. Yeah, I think we can get a 1-0 win. The same thing I said last time. If we manage to get the first goal, we're gonna close shop. Proper defensive block, and it will be difficult for them because they will also be scared of our counters. So even if they want to attack, they'll be cautious. That way, just leaves it in the middle, and we'll get that 1-0 win. I didn't ask this question. We are going to be having Shemi Ajayi back. How do you do the defensive setup now? Do you take Frederick to the right back?
No, I think Bright Osai he had a good game. He had a fantastic game at right back.
Yeah.
And he has shown that he is a good quality right back that could dribble, and, step up. But having Frederick as center back is very key to me. I don't really want him playing at right back. Do you understand? Unless we have to defend. If we're playing against a better quality side, that's when you can say, oh, let's move our most effective defender, the right back, to have that cover. But when we're playing against a team that I think Nigeria on paper is the favorite, I think we need to have an attacking right back that can also drop back and have a change in the second half where Frederick can go and cover that right back. Like you said, if we go ahead, we can have Frederick cover the right back and have Semi Ajayi in the team. But I don't think we need to change anything from our back lineup. Even Zaido was good and he deserves to start too.
Yeah, he was good.
Exactly. I agree with Dangi totally. You don't fix what has not broken. Everything is in order there. So just let it be.
Let it be and let it all work out. And that's all we'll leave it for here, man, because we're going to wrap up quickly. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please make sure you like, you share, and you subscribe. My prediction still stands. Nigeria will beat Congo 1-0. If you want to bet, go on my DM and let's talk about that. All right, guys. Thank you so much, Handy. Thank you, Mr. Fairplay.
A pleasure.
Let's go, Nigeria. Let's go.
Go.
Vamos!